Recreation Center, and thank you for taking a few moments to hear from myself and the City Council on this very important step as we move forward with our efforts to return our schools to local control and to get better outcomes for our students here in the Providence Public School District. Before we begin officially, and in a moment we'll hear from Councilman Juan Pichardo, I also want to welcome School Board Member Jenny Mercado. And I want to take just a quick second to thank the hardworking members of my staff who for months have been consulting with experts and helping pull together the plan that we're releasing today. A special thank you to Abir Katana and Kethu Manakaran, Ben Youngwood, under the leadership of Sheila Dormady. These folks have been listening to community members for months. They have been pulling together experts. We've all been at the table to produce a document today that we're quite proud of, so thank you all for your hard work. And to the members of our community, I'm proud today to announce that we have reached an important milestone in our efforts to improve public education. Today we release Providence's plan for our schools, Building a Brighter Future. This comprehensive strategy outlines how we will responsibly and effectively return our schools to local management, ensuring that our systems of governance and operations are aligned to support our students in every way to succeed. For the last 2 years, we've been listening closely to students, family, educators, community members, and it's been clear throughout this feedback that the members of our community want the Providence Public Schools to come back to local control. Through extensive community engagement, including surveys and conversations with nearly 1,200 constituents, we've developed a plan that reflects the priorities of those who matter most, our students, their families, and our educators. We heard firsthand the frustrations with the challenges that have come with the state intervention, including issues with communication, collaboration, and importantly, trust. But we also heard something just as powerful. There's a sense of hope and excitement for the future, and our community is more eager than ever for collaboration at the school level. They're eager for greater transparency, and we all want a greater and renewed focus on student success. This transition plan is built to deliver exactly what has been asked for us from our community, from the Department of Education, and from the Governor. This plan outlines opportunities for stronger governance by establishing clear roles for our brand new Providence School Board, for the City Council, and for city leadership, so that we all can be held accountable and that we have a renewed commitment to transparency with our community, most especially with parents and students. By integrating PPSD and the city's budget process together, we can ensure long-term investments in our schools, and we can continue to be committed to fiscal responsibility so that we can sustainably maintain funding to our schools. This will set the path for more efficient operations by streamlining purchasing, data systems, and school facilities while we implement our billion-dollar plan for capital improvements in our schools. Most importantly, we're going to develop a student-centered learning environment by strengthening education programming, expanding supports for multilingual learners and special ed students, while continuing to invest in enhanced after-school and summer learning opportunities. To achieve this, we will continue to expand outreach efforts to guarantee that families and caregivers are meaningfully included in the decision-making for their students' education. But we know to provide these type of opportunities, we need to make investments in our educators, in school leadership, and in professional development to support student achievement, and that's what we intend to do. This transition plan is a turning point for our schools, and we're committed to getting it right. As many of you know, earlier this year, my administration submitted state legislation to officially return the Providence Public Schools to local control by this summer. This is a critical step in fulfilling our commitment to students, families, and educators. While the schools are still under the state control, we are making generational investments in funding, increasing funding by $20 million to ensure that our students and our schools have the resources that they need. We're continuing to break ground on new state-of-the-art schools, 3 new schools this year alone, to provide high-quality learning environments. We're expanding out of classroom experiences, including mentoring program, academic enrichment, and summer learning opportunities. But we know that lasting success requires a collective and ongoing engagement with the community. That's why working closely with the school board and the city council, along with PPSD and RIDE, we are working to finalize this transition plan so that we can get approval to bring our schools back this summer. We will continue to listen to the community and in fact have yet another community engagement session on the books. All of our stakeholders, families, caregivers, students, teachers, and community members are invited once again to the Providence Career and Technical Academy on May 17th from 10 to 12 for our latest community conversation on education. I encourage everyone to stay involved. Read the full plan. It's available online in English and in Spanish. By working together, we can react to what we heard loud and clear. It's time to bring our schools back, and they need to come back with improved community engagement. We will continue to listen to experts, and we will stay the path on the important components of the turnaround plan that was formed by those same community members. I want to take an opportunity to once again thank the school board and the city council. This was a collaborative effort. Many of you have heard about our Return to Local Control Cabinet, which was started well over a year ago. This is the most recent milestone in that work, but the work is not finished. Chairing a new committee on behalf of the City Council, the HELP Committee, which includes education, is Councilman Juan Pichardo. Councilman Pichardo has been fighting for better schools for a generation. We were just laughing. Councilman Pichardo has been working on improving our schools since I was in school. And so we appreciate his sustained commitment. We appreciate his partnership on the City Council. And I'd like to invite the councilman to say a few words now.
Thank you, Mayor, and welcome everyone to Jenny Mercado for joining us and the newly elected board member to the Education Board. And today, just wanted to highlight the great work that has been done the past 2 years, especially the administration, Sheila Dormany and her staff, and making sure that the conversation continued about improving our schools. We've taken on that role as a whole, as a community, to ensure that we get our schools back. The City Council is ready to work with the mayor, school board, teachers, and students to fulfill that promise, the promise of working together to ensure that we become one of the best schools in Rhode Island, but also in New England. And that starts with ensuring that this necessary transition back to local control is as smooth as possible. The mayor's plan and all of our plan is to get our schools as soon as possible. Public schools are the basic building block of any community's future, any city, any state. Even as we speak here today, the Providence Public School District is busy preparing the next generation of leaders. We know that teachers, parents, every day get up to ensure that they provide their first-class education, and they need the right tools here in the city of Providence. Our public schools and the students, educators, and parents, they deserve, and our succession plan is one of those that will get us there. Yes, every student should have access to quality education for its own sake, but it's bigger than that. Our city's future will soon be there in their hands. I was there 20 years ago when I started fighting for schools and a voice of our parents. We have more voices in our youth, in our parents, and that's what we are striving for. The Providence City Council is committed to making that happen. And we look forward to working with the mayor, with the school board, with educators to help build the school system in our city and our students that our students deserve, that we urgently need. We need our schools back. We need the resources. We need the funding to support our parents, our students, and most importantly also our teachers, making sure that they have the right tools to ensure that our students are successful. Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you, Councilman. We'll now take questions. Alex?
Yes, so you said you wanted to take back to schools as soon as possible. I'm sure you're prepared for pushback though from the education commissioner. How do you think that this report is really going to get you over the edge to say yes for this summer?
So, we're talking about schools here. We were given an assignment. Today we're submitting our homework. We were told to show how we're ready and to demonstrate the work that has been done and where we are, and we think that this adequately addresses the task that was given to us. We've been working for well over a year to prepare to take our schools back. We know that we're ready for that. But we also don't expect this to be a pass-fail exam. That's not what this is about. We need to be working together. The Department of Education, PPSD, the city, the school board, and the city council. We all need to be collaborating together, and in fact we are. We meet regularly with school leaders, with RIDE officials, and we're going to continue to do so. We come to this work with a spirit of collaboration and an openness to continue to resolve any other remaining issues. We hope that today's report will be viewed as an important milestone in the journey, but not the end of the journey. We all care about what's best for our kids, and we all have the best interest of our students at heart. We know this takeover is going to come to an end. The commissioner's original order was through 2027. Even under her timeline, that's not that far from now. So we need to roll up our sleeves as the adults to work together to do better for the students. And I'm hopeful and optimistic that today's report will be well received and will demonstrate and quantify and outline the substantive work that has been done and prove the readiness that we have to take the schools back.
One of the most fascinating aspects of this is the implementation of a pre-K through 8 model. Will literally change everything in our private schools. Number one, I want to know what the genesis of the idea was, what other cities in Rhode Island, is this a move other school districts around the nation are making? And of course, we're talking about everything from bullying and minimizing school violence, transitioning education for children who are multi-language learners. I mean, there's so many aspects to this. I wonder if you could just develop on that.
Yeah, I think it's true that for parents and students, probably the biggest change that they'll see in this report is us leaning into and fully embracing the pre-K through 8 model. This has been introduced previously in the community, but it has not yet been rolled out. And so we believe pre-K through 8 will show meaningful changes, particularly at the middle school level. We have excellent elementary schools in the city of Providence, but too many of our middle school students continue to struggle. We know that middle school is an especially difficult transition, going from a small school environment to a big school, going from staying in the same classroom all day for all of your subjects to starting to move around classrooms. And so in conjunction with the $1 billion worth of school construction that we're doing, we are constructing pre-K through 8 schools. And this is a statement from city leaders, council, and school board that we are embracing fully and entirely committed to the pre-K through 8 model. We did the research, we've listened to experts, the academic study and the data are clear around the country that pre-K through 8 works, that it delivers better results, that it helps with that 6th grade transition, that it provides opportunities not just for warm handoffs between teachers as a student matriculates, they know their students, the school environment effectively stays smaller, and it provides important opportunities for peer mentorship. Everything as simple as having the young kids cheer for the middle school, high school sports team, to the older middle school kids being able to do some basic tutoring for the younger kids. It builds better relationships, stronger bonds, it keeps student groups together longer, and it has had great results in other parts of the country and addresses one of our biggest weaknesses right now in PPSD, which is middle school.
Mayor Smiley, other things that the report talks about are the finances as well as data security. We know those are 2 challenges the district has faced. What is your promise to taxpayers and parents that things are going to be handled effectively by the city?
My promise to the taxpayers and to the parents is that we can deliver better services for less money. The Providence School Department and the City of Providence were integrated for generations. That separation only happened 6 years ago. And so this reintegration allows for an opportunity for a higher level of service for less cost. The school department and the city both have their own IT departments. The school department and the city both have their own HR teams. There were duplicate systems created at the time of the turnaround that now will be reintegrated so that we can do better. All of us are vulnerable to cyber attacks. It's a global trend, as you well know. But we should all want the best resources, the best experts working together, and we'll be able to do that. City's IT department can help the school department's team and vice versa. And so we can better protect our students' data, our employees' data. Similarly, we'll be able to better serve our employees, whether they're on the school side or on the city side. These are opportunities for both efficiency and higher quality services.
Mayor, the report speaks to an increased commitment for supporting multilingual learners. I wonder if you could speak to that in terms of the financial commitment, what that looks like in reality,
Yeah.
particularly in the K-8 model.
So this is one of these places. This report today is not meant to be an indictment of the work of RIDE. There are many things that are on the right track. This is an area over the last couple of years of the turnaround. The PPSD, under RIDE's responsibility, has made great progress in certifying more MLL educators. We should celebrate that progress, and yet we know there's still more to do. And so this is a statement that we need to keep going. We need to keep moving in that direction. The needs for MLL, multilingual learners, is only growing, and we anticipate it to continue to grow. And so this is a statement to say, yes, we've made progress. This is actually an area in which I think is one of the areas of most progress in the last couple of years. But we're going to keep going. We're not in any way abandoning, but rather doubling down on our commitment to MLL education.
Talk about your hope with working with the Providence Public School Board in its new hybrid model and the coaching that it's now supposedly getting from a new business that's working with schools.
I'm excited for our new school board. It is a brand new model, as many people know, the only hybrid school board in the state, with both elected and appointed leaders who are deeply rooted in their community. One of the things that jumped off the page in the surveys that we did and came out of the conversations and all of the in-person engagement was time and time again, we heard from students, from parents, from community members that they didn't feel heard, and that when they did invest the time to engage, they felt like nothing came from that engagement. I think one of the best tools we have to answer that concern is our new school board. They're rooted in community, they're assigned by district, their neighbors know them and know how to reach them, and I think are not going to be shy to call on Jenny and the other school board members when they have feedback. And so this is a brand new board, and accordingly, they need to be prepared to take on governance of this system. And so at their own request, at their own direction, they have asked for professional development and guidance so that they can grow and mature as a board. The Providence Public School District has a budget of over $500 million. If that were a city or town in Rhode Island, it would be one of the largest cities and towns short of Providence. So this is a major organization with thousands of employees and hundreds of millions of dollars. And we need to entrust them with governing this system as soon as the turnover ends. And so we want to make sure that they have the training that they need to be able to take on that major responsibility. I know they're excited for that, and I'm excited for them.
Mayor, one of the other things you talked about is after-school programming. You recently had an announcement that you were beginning a new summer program where kids would have an opportunity to learn and also dine, if you will, at a variety of facilities around the city. How does that transport into PPSD and the balance of that?
Yeah, so it is a fact that any student spends more time out of school than in school. And so how they spend those hours is also very important. After school and over the summer is both an opportunity either for growth or a risk of falling back. And so we take after school and summer programming very seriously. With a school district that has returned to local control, there's even greater opportunities for partnership and integration. One of the reasons that we're here at a rec center today is because this is a place where a lot of after-school and summer learning occurs, either specifically with homework help and class instruction, and sort of tangentially through the social and emotional learning that happens on this basketball court and through sports and through play and through other enriching activities like art that happens in all of our rec centers. And so whether right now it's the state running our school department or us running the recs, they're all our kids. They're the same kids, and we care about them all day, all year. And so any opportunity that we can have to better serve them in their out-of-school hours will help them with their in-school performance and yield better results. And we think there's even greater opportunities for more integration, more partnership, more efficiency with better outcomes, just like with city systems with respect to after-school and summer programming.
And my final question, Superintendent Javier Montañez has been reporting to Angelica Infante Green, and what do you think about that relationship with him moving forward?
So once the schools come back, the superintendent will report to the Providence School Board. That will be one of their primary responsibilities, and mine as well. One of the components of the report that you have in your hands today is that I intend to put the superintendent as a member of my team of directors, my cabinet, if you will, because he is a key city leader just like other city leaders, and we want to make sure that he's integrated into the decision-making process here in the city as it used to be and the way it should be. I look forward to working with the superintendent in this new relationship when the schools return. But it's important to note, and this is, I mentioned earlier about the experts that we consulted in this plan, the experts that we listen to regularly. I intend to lean upon a superintendent to be the expert also. The mayor, the city council shouldn't be micromanaging what's happening in the classroom. Our job and the school board's job is to find an excellent school leader, to hold him or her accountable to results and outcomes, but then to trust that leader to do their job. And that's how I intend to work with the superintendent once the schools come back to local control. I think the council and the school board feel similarly.
In terms of buying from somebody else?
Last question.
Last question.
All right.
In terms of buying for the CBA with the Providence Teachers Union, how does this all stand? I mean, the change to a K-8 model is revolutionary in terms of the day-to-day operations of Providence schools. Where do they stand?
So the Providence Teachers Union, PTU, has a contract that expired in August. They've been working this year without a contract as they renegotiate, living under the old terms. The Department of Education and PPSD is negotiating that contract. I'm not a party to those negotiations, but expect to be actively engaged in the next contract. So you'd have to ask RIDE or PPSD about the status of the current negotiations, but I look forward to a productive relationship with PTU when